Well, the jury has been dismissed for the day, but we have a lot to cover from what happened from the lunch break until end of the day. So let's get started. Ventura testified that Combs was very busy successfully running his companies and managing his career during their relationship. She testified that he remained busy even when they were having frequent freak-offs, consuming lots of substances and recovering from those events. Ventura confirmed that she believed Combs was an addict, and defense attorney Anna Estavio asked what he was addicted to. Ventura said success. Estavio went on to ask what substances Combs was addicted to. Ventura answered, I think it varied over the years, adding that at one point he was addicted to opiates. She confirmed that Combs was more irritable and angry when he was withdrawing from opiates. Ventura also testified that she was also addicted to opiates for a period. She said that they took various drugs together and that Combs's drugs of choice were ecstasy and MDMA. She said she didn't believe he was ever addicted to those drugs and that they were party drugs in contrast to opioids, which they took more regularly. Now, the defense did take a lot of time to question her about their 11-year relationship. Once again, just like earlier today, trying to paint it out as complicated and just as a whirlwind love story. The judge stepped away from the bench for a while. The judge came back. The defense gave Ventura an iPad with exhibits that they intended to question her on during cross-examination, just for her to review ahead of time in an effort to speed up proceedings. The judge stated that he wanted to have Ventura off the stand tomorrow. He told the defense team that they needed to complete their cross-examination of Ventura before lunch tomorrow, but he left open the possibility of granting them additional time if needed. After that cross-examination resumed with the jury back in the courtroom, and Anna Estavio continued her cross-examination. In cross-examination, the defense tried to argue to the jury that Ventura and Combs' relationship was more complicated than the prosecution painted it to be. Prosecutors, during their direct examination of Ventura, had alleged that Combs committed a sex trafficking crime, and Combs' defense is that there was domestic violence in the relationship, but he's not running from it, but there was no sex trafficking that occurred. Messages about freak-offs between Ventura and Combs were being read and shown to the jury. In one conversation dating from March 2017, Ventura told Combs to stop playing the victim, that's all she wanted, and that's why she was upset. Additional updates will be in part 2, linked in the comments. Part 2. Ventura testified about other women Combs spent time with while the two of them were dating. She testified that she had some jealousy of Miss Porter, referring to Kim Porter, who shared 3 children with Combs. Porter died in 2018. Ventura confirmed that it would upset her when Combs would spend holidays with his family and Porter, even though the two were no longer in a romantic relationship. Ventura also testified that she learned Combs was spending time with a woman called Gina in April of 2014. I was really upset, Ventura testified. She said Combs denied the relationship to an extent, but added that she and Combs argued multiple times about him getting back together with Gina. She and Combs also argued Combs about other women, she stated. Ventura said Combs was also suspicious that she was romantically involved with other men. Anna Estavio, the defense attorney, reviewed some text messages with Ventura from a 17-page text exchange between her and Combs. In the thread, the couple was planning for Combs to join her in New York City for the weekend. The jury also saw texts between them planning to see the Book of Mormon and about escorts and a sex club. When Estavio moved to another exhibit, Ventura said, "This isn't about what I feel is relevant right now, because there's a lot we skipped over." Estavio didn't acknowledge her question. Combs' defense attorney, Estavio, spent the day questioning the prosecution's star witness, Ventura, with a focus on certain text messages from early in the relationship with Combs that appeared reflective of open communication between the pair. Now, anyone that's been in a relationship and is not willing to lie for the sake of Diddy knows that early on in a relationship, yeah, everything is butterflies and roses, and you're listening to everything, and you're hanging off of each other's every word, and then you get into a routine. And if somebody is abusive, yeah, they're gonna be very open and love bombing in the beginning, and not so much towards the end. And the fact that the defense stayed within that realm of early in the relationship is very concerning. And in 17 pages of text messages, even Cassie Ventura pointed out, like, hey, this isn't the most relevant things from this exchange. And the attorney just skipped right over it. I guess she ain't sleeping well at night. Let's continue. Women on social media would often claim to have relationships with Combs, ex-girlfriend Ventura testified. It happened often enough that I don't know that I would remember every single one, she said. Defense attorney Estavio asked if Ventura would react when she saw Combs with other women. Yes, mainly Gina, Ventura responded. She confirmed that a woman called Gina was the main problem in their relationship. So she's admitting that she's shown. It's just reconfirming a pattern that Diddy ain't shit. But the jury took a short break. We'll continue with part 3 that'll be linked in the comments in a moment. Part 3. Ventura testified that Combs introduced her to rapper Kid Cudi around 2011 so they could work on music together. Ventura said she began dating Kid Cudi while she was on a break with Combs. She testified that she got a burner phone to communicate with Kid Cudi because she didn't want Combs to find out about the relationship. I thought it would be way too dangerous to tell him about that, she said. Ventura said Combs eventually found out about the relationship when he went through her phone during a freak-off. She said she was still having freak-offs with Combs while they were on a break because it was a job. Ventura said Combs lunged at her when he found out, but he didn't make contact with her. By 2013, Ventura had been in a relationship with Combs for about 7 years, she testified, but she said she still hadn't been able to form a relationship with his children. Ventura expressed her frustration over not being able to spend time with him and his children in July 2013. In a July 2013 message she sent to Combs, which was shown to the jury this afternoon. The message, in part, references other divorced celebrity couples and how they spend time together with family. The messages went on to say, and I quote, "I've been at the edge of tears this whole week. I don't think that you sympathize with my feelings. I understand you feeling like you need to protect your children, but after a while, it's like, for what? They've never known you and Kim Porter to be together, unless there's something that I just don't know about. They were babies when we started dating." End quote. While the defense questioned Ventura about text messages, Combs was seen writing on orange sticky notes and passing one after another to his attorney sitting beside him. Combs also spoke during the break briefly with an attorney handling the cross-examination. Now, the court took steps to have Ventura's testimony conclude before she gives birth. As I stated before, she is towards the end of her pregnancy. She is due to deliver next month. Ventura also went on to say Combs often brought up her relationship with Kid Cudi. She described how she broke up with Combs in 2015 after Michael B. Jordan's name was brought up by the defense, stating that at the time Combs was also suspicious that Ventura was starting to date actor Michael B. Jordan. When asked about it, Ventura said she didn't know how Combs reacted to the news because she wasn't with him to see it. Then Ventura's testimony set up arguments on both sides during the rest of the trial. According to experts, Ventura's testimony sets up arguments on both sides during the rest of the trial. Ventura says her friends knew about the abuse because they sometimes witnessed it. The defense suggested that Ventura didn't personally witness Combs dangle her friend over a balcony. We already got information on that yesterday. The defense asked Ventura to confirm baby oil was not laced with drugs. Then there was a short break. Ventura came back to the stand. Then Combs' lawyer suggests that he was going through withdrawal before the 2016 hotel altercation. The defense then walked through messages between Ventura and Combs that they exchanged before the hotel assault, and then the jury was dismissed for the day. We will convene again here tomorrow. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.